All right, we're going to go over this first problem here. This is from section 1.8, and it's problem number 1. It says find f of g of x and g of f of x and determine whether the pair of functions f and g are inverses of each other. So we're told that f of x equals 8x minus 2, and we're told that g of x equals x plus 8 over 2. Now the answers are written here already, but I'm going to go over how to get them. So first up, we're going to do part A. And part A, we have to find f of g of x. All right, so when it says to find f of g of x, what it's asking us to do is to take g of x, the second function, and plug it into f of x. So what I'm doing is actually f of, I'm going to replace this g of x with exactly what it's equal to, x plus 8 over 2. Now, what this means is that whatever we see here in parentheses, we're going to place that, substitute that for the x we have in f of x. Now, when we plug something into f of x, we multiply it by 8, and then we subtract 2. So that's exactly what I'm going to do, and I'm going to use parentheses. So I'm going to take this x plus 8 over 2, multiply it by 8. I'm going to show that with parentheses. So 8 parentheses x plus 8 over 2. And remember, we also have to subtract 2. Now, this 8 is really 8 over 1. And notice that we have a 2 in the denominator. So what I'm going to do is divide here. This 2 is going to become a 1. This 8, when I divide the 2 into it, is going to become a 4. Now, our next step is to distribute the 4 to both terms in the parentheses. And this will give us 4x plus 4 times 8 is 32. And remember, we still have this minus 2 here. And now, lastly, we just combine like terms, and we get 4x plus 30. And that's how we get this answer here, 4x plus 30. Okay, so let's do part B. And this states that we have to find g of f of x this time. So this time we're taking the first function and plugging it into the x of the second function. So what I'm going to write is g of, I'm going to write down what f of x is, and we're told that f of x is 8x minus 2. So wherever we see an x in g of x, we're going to replace that with 8x minus 2. Now, if we plug something into g of x, what we do is we add 8 to it, and then we divide the whole top by 2. So that's exactly what I'm going to do, and I'm going to use parentheses once again. So let's put a parentheses here. Instead of x, I'm going to write 8x minus 2, close the parentheses. Remember, we said that we are going to add 8. This whole thing is now in the numerator, and we're going to divide that numerator by 2, just like it says to do here. Now, on top, our next step is going to be to combine like terms. So what we're going to be left with is 8x, negative 2 and positive 8 is positive 6 over 2. Next thing is to simplify. So we're going to take this 2 and divide it by the 8x and divide it by the 6. 8x divided by 2 simplifies to 4x. And 6 divided by 2 simplifies to 3. Therefore, we get 4x plus 3. Now, the last part asks us if the functions are inverses of one another. So is f of x and g of x inverses of one another? The only way that f of x and g of x can be inverses of one another is if when we did this part here, part A, f of g of x, and when we did g of f of x, if we simply got x as the answer for both, then they would be inverses of each other. However, we got 4x plus 30, and we got 4x plus 3. So since we did not get just a plain old x by itself, the functions are not inverses of one another. And that's the solution to that problem.